Welcome to my back porch. So today I'm working on my first large canvas. It's a 24 by 24. I'm using the same method that I've used before, where I'm pouring the paint through the mesh shelf to kind of break it up. Let's see, the colors there: cobalt blue, robin's egg blue, that's my light navy, and then there's a lime green, and I believe silver. Let's see if silver comes in there. Oh, there's the dark green, which is kind of a tealish kind of green, and then the silver. Okay. So the canvas was already covered with white paint. I had to actually take it outside because the canvas is too large for my painting area. So I have a coating of white on it, and here I'm stirring up some more white paint there because I realized I'm going to need more than what I had. And I decided I needed a fourth splatter spot, so doing that one more time. So the intention on this one was to have something to hang in my living room with the colors that I am using. And you'll see me add white to different spots here and there because I was trying to keep some separation between the blobs for all the good it did. It did somewhat. It gave me kind of somewhere to go off of. But I really had no idea, what was going to come out of this because I'd never done a canvas this big before. And I love how the silver is staying on top and throughout. Oh, I had forgotten that I dropped that. Yeah, a little butterfingers there, but it really just kind of added to the painting needing more white. I should have dropped white in the puddles when I was doing the puddles because I think it needed some contrast in there. So I ended up pouring it in between, and then here I wasn't getting the paint to spread the way I wanted it to by pouring by tipping. So I decided to take the knife and try and spread it that way, and I was happy with the results in the end. It's the first time I really just got in there and said, I'm going to push this paint in this direction or that direction, and well, the video goes on and on forever because I really spent a lot of time. I think this was originally a 48-minute video, so I've really shortened it down quite a bit. But after tipping it and then spreading it with the tool and then tipping it some more, I finally got a shape going that I really liked, and it kind of looked like three pieces or parts coming from that one corner. And then from there I was able to use the tool some more, add a little bit of white here and there where I needed it, and also I used a toothpick to draw what do we call it? Feathery lines from it. So this kind of goes on and on, but my intention originally was to make two pieces that could be hung on either side of my fireplace, but the second one didn't turn out at all. I wasn't happy with it, and then after I turned the camera off, I dropped something on it. So then I attempted to do the wet paper towel drag, which I decided just to do 2/3 of it dragged, and I let that dry, and it was just, quite boring. So I tried to add something to it. Nothing worked. I eventually painted over it, and I think it's just sitting in my back room now waiting to be reused. So I did get this one very nice. I'm really happy with this one in the end. And there are some still shots at the end. But here is the beginning of the toothpick drawing, and I think I can just do this I don't get bored doing this, so I had to really edit some of this down a little bit. So the paint colors I'm using, one way that I pick my colors is if I see something that I like, whether it's a piece of fabric or, a vase or another painting or even like, a pillow sham or something, I like to use that to choose my colors. And so for this particular one, I used, let's see, I bought some kitchen linens, a tablecloth and a dish towel and hot pads and things like that in this print. And so the colors that I'm using here directly come from that. They are the colors of that print that I'm using in my kitchen. So, I think that's a really valid way to find colors, especially if somebody says, oh, will you make something for me? You can say, yeah, will you give me something from that room or send me a picture from that room so I can see what's going on in there so that you can match the colors to it. Yeah. I think this part of the video that I'm looking at here is about almost 8 minutes long. I'm having a hard time talking for 8 minutes. So I think pretty soon coming up in here I'm going to use the torch, and I really was just using the torch to get any air bubbles out that might have been in there. I did not use any silicone or dimethicone with this paint, just the Floetrol and Liquitex mix that I use regularly. And so there really wasn't any reason to use the torch except to make sure that there weren't any, lingering bubbles that needed to come up. There we go. So here we are to the close-ups, and you can see I have some pretty lacing from the pulling the tool across, and then I have some, you can see the drag marks where I did the toothpick. Let's see if one of those comes up right here, and I think that turned out really nice. And then you can kind of see that silver really standing out, and you'll see also the nice cells that formed here and there throughout. And so cobalt blue is actually not a color that's in that palette originally, but I had used it somewhere else and thought, I just love the way it glows. And I think in parts of this I kind of see that peacock look. So the colors are really, really stand out. Here is the picture hanging above my fireplace. And now for some close-ups of my favorite parts. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks.